Good evening and salutations, my B&B fans. I the way that we actually structured this episode was like, what? So Rich sees that Carter's name is signed on a place that it shouldn't be signed on, right? And Rich is like, okay, why is your name on here for? Stephanie doesn't really take the matter too serious, and Carter just sits there and says, I can draw up new papers. Cool. That doesn't answer the question, why is your goddamn name signed on a place that is not supposed to be signed in? That would have been my question. I think that would have been any person's question who has common sense to actually have your name signed on a place where it says manager. Anybody would be like, no, 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 no. I want to know why your name's signed on this paper. Then Taylor comes in, right? And I'm like, for once, Taylor, you're actually useful because Carter wouldn't have gotten out of the situation if it wasn't for the, we'll sit there and say, unprofessionalism of Taylor just walking in whenever she wants to be like, oops, I guess you're in the middle of something. I shouldn't have just kind of walked in. No, you shouldn't have. No, you really shouldn't have. You didn't even knock. You just walked on in. Can you imagine somebody just walked on in her office while she was in the middle of a client or whatever? I don't think she would have been too happy about that. So I don't understand why she just feels the need to just walk in and be like, oopsie daisy. Now, Steffi wanted to see her mom. It's like, oh, come on, I just signed it. It's Carter. And so he signs it. And, Carter looked on his face, and I guess Carter was like, when he said that he can draw up new papers, there was two reasons. One, let's be honest, at that point he was caught. Two, he does sit there and say that he felt guilty about it. Now Rich is like, listen, we trust you, you're like family to us, and this, that, and the third, right? And then Carter leaves. Meanwhile, Hope is sitting there talking about Carter, and he doesn't want to get her. He doesn't want to sit there and get his position in jeopardy with Ridge and Steffi. And I'm like, if you really cared as much as you say you do, you wouldn't encourage him to do this in the first place. Because not only like him batting for you, you're like, I feel guilty because it's going to put his job in jeopardy. What you just encourage him to do can put his freedom in jeopardy. Okay, like that wouldn't have just been that just wouldn't have been bad for Carter as far as trust and judgment and stuff like that. That would have got his ass fired. So if you actually cared as much as you say you would, as much as you say you do, you wouldn't have did that. But of course, she did that because it benefits her. That's the bottom line. She can sit there and say all the BS that she wants. She's like, I love that he fights. No, you love that he does stuff for you. That's what you love. You love that he does stuff for you. This is why when I sit there and say that Hope is a succubus, yeah, I'm being joking. I'm playing on words, but I mean, there's a bit of truth to that. Thomas is all like, I love you. I'm devoted to you. And this, that, and the third, and gave her nothing but compliments. And she sucked it up like what a succubus would do. If you don't know what a succubus is, look it up. I think you'll see exactly what I'm talking about. So when they're talking about that and the Logans and how they're not being treated fairly and blah, 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 and we always have to sit there and prove ourselves. Well, everyone has to prove themselves at a job. So, like, what makes you think that you're so damn different? Um, Carter comes back. Carter tells the story about how it happened, the fact that Taylor was there to pretty much be a distraction. And he felt super guilty and everything like that. And, this is not like him. And he talks about he feels guilty, but I was like, if you felt guilty, you wouldn't have did it then. You did it. You sit there and say you did it because you wanted everyone to have a fair shot. Let's be honest. There's two reasons why you really did it. Okay? Because all that BS I ain't buying it. And I don't think anybody else is either. You did it for the poom poom. You did it because you want your ideas to sit there and move forward. Yeah, sometimes you can sit there and give a suggestion to your manager, your boss, or whatever. I don't like saying boss, but you can give it to them and they can decide if they want to do it or if they don't want to do it. It sucks, yes. But at the end of the day, that's business. You shouldn't have been so damn butthurt and tried to use the friend card and everything else. And yeah, it was messed up with stuff you was saying. As far as, yeah, oh yeah, she called you a bitch right to my face. Yes, that's very unprofessional. So we're gonna commit fraud now? Like, so while they're talking about their grand plan, Brooke is listening to the whole thing. She has a choice. Is she gonna sit there and warn Reg and say, hey, listen, this is what Carter is doing, and Hope is, she's not in a good state, but this is what Carter is doing, or is she just gonna let it go through? Because what's gonna wind up happening, right? She doesn't let this go through. Everything goes through. Their relationship is over. Okay, we all know that. I mean, Taylor is just right for the pickings at this point. Okay, so while Steffi's all like, "Oh, I love you so much," and blah 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 blah, and they're talking about Carter and everything like that, and like, "Oh, he's a good guy," and he's like fan to us, and we just kind of disagree on this whole thing, and he's really being protective of Hope and not really focusing on his job, the important job that we pay him oodles and doodles of dollars to afford that fancy ass convertible. He ain't doing his job. While they're all doing that, they're planning a coup. And Brooke is the only person that could sit there and either stop this whole thing or move it forward. And what do you think she's going to wind up doing? We all know the answer. So we all know where this is going. Hell, it doesn't take a spoiler channel to even figure that out. Of course it was going to go there. I feel like there's more to say, but I can't think of it. Come to the live stream tonight, 8 p.m. Eastern, 5 p.m. Pacific. We'll sit there and talk about all the shows: General Hospital, Days of Our Lives, Bold and the Beautiful, and Young and the Restless, because I got those in Days of Our Lives as well. So if you're a Days of Our Lives fan, definitely come through for that. Young and the Restless fan, come through for that. If you're watching this video, you're obviously a BNB fan, so come through for that. And GH, you already know. Anyway, with that being said, I'm going to go. I'll see you in the next video.